Yeah, maintenance day for Austin. Wayne's illness, so that's it for them.
And Jack leaves, that's just load management type thing?
Yeah, that was scheduled to be the case. He was going to get a goalie session in and stay for the first drill today, and then leave. So yeah, Shalgren's going to play tomorrow for us. Combination of the fact that he's coming off a really good start, and then also in combination of that, Jack's, I would say, a little bit below 100% at this point. Nothing to do with his previous injury, but at this time of year, with everything that's going on and the fact that Shalgren played the way he did, just a little bit below 100 is enough for us to give him an additional a couple of days here, and then we'll get him ready for Thursday.
Austin and Mitch have both mentioned that there's been a little bit more emphasis on physicality. Why do you feel that you've been preaching that message a little bit to get your guys a little more physical these days?
Well, we've been preaching that since day one of training camp. I think our players are recognizing the time of the year and just how important that is to bring that. And we've been trying to play the last 20 or so games here to this point as a team that's prepping for the playoffs and prepping to play in those environments and to create those environments ourselves. So that's really it. Like I said, we've been talking about it since day one of camp, but there's certainly been more attention to detail on it, and the players have really bought into that, and they're seeing the benefits of it, not only defensively because we kill plays a lot quicker, but the puck comes back to us a lot quicker too. So there's a lot of benefits to it.
Are you satisfied with the level, or do you think there's another level to go in terms of that?
I think there's another level to go to for sure, but we've liked what we've seen from our guys in terms of their commitment to it. I think the time of the year and the playoffs and such, will naturally bring it to another level. That's required, but I've seen an uptick for sure in that area, and it's been great to see. And in the last couple of games in particular, someone like Mitch has really taken the lead in that for us and showing the way, and then setting the standard that if a guy like him who's playing as much as he is and does so much for our team can commit like that, then every single one of our guys can follow suit.
Michael Bunting, coach, hasn't scored in a little while, but it's not like that line has been productive. Are you still noticing him making the impact that you need him to make on the ice?
Yeah, Austin's scoring all the goals. He's taking all the goals from the line, but those guys are working so well together that's just the way it's working here right now. I still see Bunce making tons of great contributions. Even Austin's second goal the other night, Bunce stretches the neutral zone out and gets a puck back and bumps it back to Austin with a ton of speed, and he's hard to handle, and that's the case. It's a very subtle play there. And another one stands out to me is Morgan Riley's goal in Dallas. Bunce makes a play just inside the blue line. I think he might have actually been outside the blue line at the time, but he makes a lateral play across the ice and puts it into space where Mitch skates onto it, and then makes a play to Morgan through the seam for the goal. Like little subtle plays like that, and that's in that case the Dallas one. He gets a second assist on that play, but to me makes the whole play because of his placement of the puck and his awareness to do that. Obviously, the things he does physically in terms of going to the net and competing and drawing penalties and all of these things bring great value to our team, even when he's not scoring. And I do believe the goals will certainly come for him. He filled the net in practice today, so that's a good sign. But obviously, we're at this time of the year, we don't really care who's scoring the goals as long as we're getting the goals and putting ourselves in a position to win. And that's been the case, and Bunce continues to play a big role in that.
Sheldon, with 10 games to go, ideally, when would you like to settle on your 3 defense pairs, as long as everyone stays healthy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the biggest thing is to manage the situation in terms of energy of the players, health of the players, the schedule. I think in some ways we've been settled here. Like we've been trying to give a run of games to the pairs that we've had here of late. It's a consistent battle for us to find consistency, but also the schedule is what it is, and we don't have a lot of time, but we do need to try some different things and get some different looks in to be confident when the regular season runs out that we're ready to go. So I don't know that we'll ever necessarily settle here in these final games, but I'll be confident that what we start with in Game 1 of the playoffs will be something that we're comfortable with, and that we've given it ample time to play itself out here.
Pretty decent sample size now with Nylander on the camp line. How would you evaluate him on that line and that line in general since he's on there?
I think it's been good. I think Willie's done well with it. I think in the last few games it hasn't been as good. I think Pierre Engvall's a real key to the line. Obviously, Willie is Willie and has the ability to drive it himself, but have someone like Pierre that can play with pace and get up the rink and get the puck into good spots for the line. That's an important factor, and it hasn't been as good in the last few. I have really liked what it's done. I like how Mikheyev is fit with Kerfoot and Tavares, so there's those elements at play. It's anytime you make a switch in lines, that's the challenge, right? You've got to look at not just how it might affect one player, such as Willie, but also what's the other impacts that it's having throughout the lineup, and you're always consistently weighing that, weighing those things against one another. And for right now, we really like the way it's played out.
You suspect that you have Rasmus Sandin available to you between now and the end of the regular season?
It's tough to say. There's no real timeline on him yet. He's been skating regularly and seems to be progressing well, but from what I'm told, he's still a ways away. So I don't know that he's going to be available before the regular season ends here or not. If anything, I suspect it wouldn't be till that final week. But he's continuing to put the work in to do everything he can to be available.
And same with Gopher Kasha.
Yeah, Kasha, same thing. Like he's on LTI. He's not even eligible to come back for a little bit here yet, and they're taking their time with him. He's at this point, same thing. He's not close to returning.
Did he end up getting diagnosed with something specific? Was it a concussion?
Yeah, he's dealing with a concussion there. Yeah.
Is Muzzin out tomorrow?
Yeah, Muzz will be out tomorrow. He's dealing with something right now, just not related to his injury that he just returned from, but he's dealing with something again. He's less than 100% here and needs a couple of days of treatment for that to settle down a little bit. But we expect he's not going to play tomorrow. We're hopeful or expecting that he'll be available after that.
What stands out to you about Bunting's ability to take a lot of abuse? Because Mitch was highlighting that, obviously he stirs it up, but he's not the biggest guy, and in, day out, he seems to be able to kind of endure that.
Yeah, he certainly is able to stick his nose into everything, and at times you wonder if he's going to be able to get up, but he bounces back and doesn't miss a shift. He regroups himself. At times he may lose his temper a little bit, but he's able to deal with a lot, and he's, like we've talked about, he's an ultra competitor, and he plays with a chip on his shoulder. He sticks his nose into everything, and you can't have enough of those type of guys. Like we're talking about. I mean, I'm sure Bunce wants to put one in and get the goal and get that off his mind, but we try to reassure him that he's making a lot of great contributions to one of the top lines in the league right now, and he should continue to be confident that the other things he's doing outside of scoring are helping that line and thus helping us win.